Hey everyone, Kyle Walker here. If you love cars, fixing things, or just want to understand your vehicle better, you're in the right place. I share hands-on tips, smart driving advice, and straight-up car talk without the fluff. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stick around till the end. You don't want to miss what's coming up. Let's get into it.
Every driver, going even on a small trip, is obliged to have a certain set of documents: the right to drive a vehicle, car insurance, diagnostic card, STS. In the event that one of the above documents is missing for any reason, the driver will definitely be penalized when meeting with a traffic police inspector. This may be a temporary restriction on driving or various penalties defined by law. In our article, we will deal with one of the most important driver's licenses, STS. Purpose of the STS. STS is an abbreviation of the name of the Certificate of Registration of a Vehicle with the State Road Traffic Safety Department. It is a mandatory document confirming registration. Given this fact, it is clear that this certificate must be obligatorily presented at the first request of the traffic police, which means that it must always be in the driver's possession. This certificate has strictly established by law parameters. Dimensions: 80 by 115 millimeters. The registration form is filled in on both sides, front and back. Let's take a closer look at how the vehicle registration certificate looks like. Front side: on this side is placed all the available information about the car, duplicating in the main points of the information on the front side of the PTS, vehicle passport, and which displays license plate number of the car, car's date of manufacture, category, VIN code, car make and model, body, engine and chassis numbers, engine displacement and power, body color. The most important and perhaps the only difference between these certificates is that the first line of the certificate contains the registration number of the machine. The reverse side, this side, contains all the necessary information about the owner of the car, his full name, place of residence, and place of registration of the vehicle. In addition, here you can also find all the basic information about the organization that issued this certificate. An important line for checking will be special marks. This field is subject to compulsory filling if significant changes have been made to the design of the vehicle, for example, gas equipment has been installed. STS number: like any other document, the STS has its number and series. They are expressed in 3 letters, 3 digits, and a regional code. The number and series of the STS of a car are indicated on both sides of the document and are highlighted in bright red color, where the certificate is obtained. When buying a car, no matter if it is new or already used, every car owner is obliged to put it on the registration record. This procedure takes place in the Vehicle Registration Department of the State Automobile Inspection of the Russian Federation. When applying to this state body, it is necessary to provide the following list of documents: technical passport, car purchase agreement, certificates confirming the value of the car, passport of the owner of the vehicle. This is one of the most important documents, without which it is practically impossible to obtain or restore the certificate. MTPL, insurance policy, a receipt for payment of the state duty, which amounts to 500 rubles. Since August 3, 2018, the STS is issued in a plastic version and costs 1,500 rubles. Today there is an option to save a little. You can apply for registration through the portal Gosislugi and reduce the amount required to pay by 30%, which is 350 and 245 rubles for the registration of the plastic version. Read also the right ways to charge maintenance-free car batteries in the event that the purchase of a used car with already available license plates was made to this list. It will be necessary to add the old registration document as well. After the owner of the car submits all the required papers, a full inspection of the car is carried out. Provided that everything is in order with the car documentation, the vehicle registration certificate will be issued in due time, which is no more than 10 days. Mandatory change of the document. An important point is the fact that no changes can be made to an existing vehicle registration document, and, if any information about the owner of the car or the vehicle itself suddenly changes, the previously issued document must be changed. This procedure can be easily completed using the Gosislugi portal, as well as in the local department of the traffic police. If the owner of the car has changed his surname or place of residence, as well as in case of damage to the certificate, it is not necessary to provide the car for reinspection. If the vehicle has undergone constructive changes of any kind, the car will have to be brought to the traffic police department to assess the admissibility of such changes. To obtain a new registration certificate, the owner of the car will need to fill out a special form, which can be printed from the site Gosaslugi or received at the Department of the State Road Traffic Safety Department. Here it is important to emphasize the line, in connection with the changes that have appeared, restoring a certificate in case of loss. Sometimes an unforeseen situation may occur, and the owner of the vehicle may lose this certificate or it may be stolen. The registration certificate is obligatory to be presented to the traffic police inspector and contains important information for identification of the car and its owner. According to experts, this registration certificate should always be with the driver, but the PTS is better left at home. This is important because if you lose the STS and have in hand the PTS, the restoration of the lost document is fast, but if you lose the PTS, the presence of the STS does not solve much, and the restoration of the vehicle passport will be very long and troublesome. In any case, the owner of the car will have to write a statement about the abduction or loss. It will be impossible to avoid a fine. An important nuance in this matter will be the fact that to move on the car without a certificate is prohibited by law, and before going to the Department of Traffic Police, the owner of the car will need to take a certificate of loss of the certificate, but it will be valid only for ferrying the car to the necessary Department of Traffic Police. Read also, how to sit behind the wheel correctly in such a situation. The owner will need to be patient, as driving a car without this document is strictly prohibited, and obtaining a new registration certificate will take time. How long it will take to recover depends on what exactly is missing. After the theft, it usually takes a much longer period of time to restore all the necessary documents. This is due to the fact that it will be necessary to collect a number of additional certificates, and in some cases, even wait for the complete closure of the theft case. The situation will be especially difficult if together with the STS certificate the PTS was lost. When submitting all the documents required by law, the owner of the car does not have to submit receipts confirming the payment of the state duty and MTPL. The information about this inspector will receive independently in the electronic version. Refusal to restore the document in special cases. The owner of a motor vehicle can refuse to restore the STS. This can happen for several reasons. Incomplete set of required documents. There is no mark on the payment of taxes. The inspection revealed deficiencies in the car that do not meet safety requirements. Inconsistencies were found in the documentation submitted to the State Road Traffic Safety Inspectorate. If such a situation arises, the owner of the car should submit a written application to explain the problems. Penalties in the absence of STS. As noted earlier, driving a vehicle without this certificate is categorically prohibited. The legislation of our country provides penalties for this violation, namely a fine of 500 rubles and delivery of the car to the parking lot until a new STS is issued, in case of loss or theft, or until the driver brings the STS, if it was left at home. Some drivers, who are negligent in their duties, try to drive without this certificate hoping to convince the inspector who stopped him that the document was lost recently and they are going to restore it. Unfortunately for such grief drivers, they rarely manage to convince the inspectors, and the punishment will be inevitable. Another variant of violation will be the situation when the driver drives the car without timely replacement of the certificate, for example, when changing the surname. In this case, at the first stop the driver will have to pay 500 to 800 rubles, but the second stop will cost already 5,000, or will be followed by deprivation of rights from 1 to 3 months. The STS of a car is a mandatory document that can be obtained through a simplified procedure, but the rules change quite often and it is necessary to keep track of it. It is especially important to learn about changes when buying and registering a car from hand. In conclusion, the driver's STS is an essential document that every vehicle owner must keep in their car at all times. It not only serves as proof of compliance with legal requirements, but also ensures safety and accountability on the road. By having this document readily available, drivers can avoid potential fines and complications during inspections or accidents. Remember, being prepared is key to responsible driving. Always check that your STS is up to date and securely stored in your vehicle. Safe travels.